Hello and welcome to another episode of Lions in the Field. I'm James Carnell.
And I'm Amy Trober.
We are excited to bring you the latest news, notes, and features of how SAGU is impacting our world and our community.
If there's one way we could describe the life of Delmer Guynes, it would be obedience. You may have heard about his journey to the mission field and his willingness to go wherever God takes him in our last episode.
This lesson of obedience didn't stop after his work in China. Our legacy lion is also known for his inspirational leadership during a time of great need for Southwestern. Today, you'll hear the passionate story behind the presidential tenures of Dr. Guynes.
Why did you agree to serve as president of a U.S.-based college when you were trained and led to be a missionary for many years in a foreign field or work?
Well, it takes a little explaining. We served our term in Malaysia and came home fully intending to go back and pick up our missionary work there.
Mm-hmm.
While we were home, the Malaysian government had changed from being British control to a Malaysian government. And when I wrote my letter and asked for a re-entry permit to the country, they said, no, you've been here 10 years. That's all you can have. From there, we made our way, God opened the door, went to our headquarters in Springfield, and then headed up the graduate school there for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided just to resign. It was a kind of a foolish thing to do, but we felt deeply on that. China had been closed to us, to everybody. There was no open door to China. 1 month after we resigned, China opened. And we went to China. We then worked and went to China and worked out of Hong Kong. And it was a very difficult time, but God helped us and God blessed us. And we're frustrated with trying to locate. You couldn't live in China. We lived in Hong Kong, which was still a British colony.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't find housing there. So I was traveling about all over the country, representing China, prayer, emphasis, our Operation Sunrise and all that. And we were in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, where I had been, but we were going back to pay a visit there, and that was an easy place to go when we couldn't find any place else to go.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the home of the minister who had been saved and come to his ministry under our leadership.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Prince Gunaratnam. We're in his home, and I had a letter there that had come in from Dr. Zimmerman, our general superintendent, with whom I'd worked very closely in Springfield. And in that letter, he said, there are two positions I'd like for you to think about, if you will. He says, you can come back to your old job here. I would like for you to do that, if you choose to, because it's vacant and we need you, and come back if you will, which I thought was a great honor. But he said the other one is Southwestern does not have a president. The president has resigned. They don't have a president. If you have any thought about coming back to the stateside ministry, think about these two. Well, I didn't want to, but we were coming home for whatever reason. We traveled a lot. Came down by myself. My wife didn't come with me, and Southwestern was in financial trouble. I didn't know how bad at that time, but it was in serious trouble. But anyway, I looked at it and I said, I don't believe this is what I want to do. And I got back in my car to get ready to drive away, and all of a sudden, I began to cry. It was an amazing thing to me. I didn't have any reason to cry. I mean, I was not in trouble. I had a good job. I mean, I was okay, but just began to bawl like a baby. And for maybe 15 minutes, I could do nothing but cry. And I finally got it all out, and I hadn't changed my mind. So I got out. In those days, there was no interstate here. There was just 77 going up to Dallas. And I went out 77, got about to the underpass, the railroad crossing there just before Oaks Church, if you know where that is. Just about there, and that thing hit me again. And I couldn't do anything but bawl like a baby. And all of a sudden, this thing became very much a part of my thinking, very much. You owe that school. You owe that school. Everything you do as a minister came to you on that campus. Your wife came to you on that campus. Your first baby was born on that campus. Everything that you have got has come from Southwestern to you. Don't you think you ought to think about paying your debt back? It had nothing to do with whether I was called to be a missionary or what. I didn't see any change in my identity. I just said, well, if that's what God is telling me, if I'm supposed to do this, I'll ask my wife. And she said, I don't know how she felt about it, but she agreed.
We kick off this SAGU Celebrations by honoring recent graduate Jessica Bearden. After finishing her undergraduate degree in psychology at SAGU in 2015, she got married to a Houston police officer, moved to Spring, Texas in the Houston area, and then shortly after that, she used her education at Southwestern as a springboard into graduate studies at Sam Houston State University in Huntsville, Texas. Now she works as a therapist at True North in the Woodlands, Texas. Jessica's remarkable work continues to shine on others as she encourages positive change, authentic relationships, and faith-based coping skills to help her patients.
And we also want to say goodbye to one of our accomplished graduates in the field, Carla Marie Aaron. She went home to be with her Heavenly Father on January 7th, 2022. Carla graduated from SAGU in 1979 with an associate's in business and became a minister for the North Texas District Assemblies of God. She went on to teach the gospel to kids in the Denton, Texas area. And later, she became the co-founder of Advantage Balloons along with her husband, Paul, who is also an alum.
And they have a special place in our heart in the alumni office because they were the ones who decorated at homecoming, at our general councils, and many other celebrations that we had here at SAGU, and they always did an amazing job.
That's right. So if in the last several years you have visited SAGU's campus for homecoming or attended one of our alumni receptions at general council, you got to see some of Carla's handiwork.
Carla was yet another of thousands of SAGU graduates across the decades who changed people's lives as a devoted follower of Christ. We are going to miss her.
All right, here we go. It starts here, 8-10, take one.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Pretty good. Coach Neal, I did want to start with you.
Okay.
Why do you think student athletes come to SAGU?
Yeah, I'm in to showcase your talents in your sport, but I think SAGU uniquely gives you a family atmosphere, it gives you a community, it gives you a chance to grow your whole self, to your spiritual growth especially, to who you are as a man or who you are as a person. And I think that we offer a little bit deeper understanding of yourself whenever you leave, and I think that whenever they leave here, they really feel a part of something bigger than themselves.
Okay, so Dad, what have you enjoyed most about being in SAGU's basketball program?
Feels like a family, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else just because like how fun it is, and it's just been a really great experience.
I've never been in a place that is just loved on each other as much as the people do here at SAGU, and I think our guys feel it. I know I feel it as a coach.
The people, not just in basketball, but outside of basketball, are like so selfless and actually genuinely care about you.
It starts here.
This week on SAGU Social, we have a very special guest who is well known around SAGU. Special Projects Manager who also works in the Advancement Office, James Bridges. James will be heading up the new initiative that is coming up this fall. With that being said, let's dive right into SAGU Social.
Welcome to episode 2 of Lions in the Field, James.
Thank you guys for having me on the show. It is a real honor.
So James, as I understand, you are going to be launching a prayer initiative this fall. Can you tell us a little bit about the original prayer initiative that we had?
Well, so the original prayer initiative began in the fall of 1991, where it just so happens my grandmother, Joyce Bridges, had the idea of hosting prayer teams on campus to help local ministry groups and churches just really develop a burden for Southwestern. And so she took the idea to Dr. Guynes, who at the time was the president of SAGU, and he really bought into the vision, and he was the one that really propelled it to what it became in the 90s. He got everyone on campus to really get engaged with it, and so from then on, I mean, hundreds of teams over 10 years visited SAGU, and we attribute it so much to the growth that the university experienced during that time.
So can you tell us a little bit about what it's going to look like now?
So we looked at the original plans, and over the last 2 years, we've conducted interviews with key campus leadership, and then folks like Dr. Guynes, who were instrumental in the rollout of the first prayer initiative. And we've really kind of taken the best and left the rest. And so many things. It's amazing to see what works, what shouldn't change. And so there's a lot that will be the same. We're going to divide it into 4 main components, or basically prayer strategies that we'll focus on. 1, kingdom impact. Number 2, spiritual empowerment. Number 3, divine protection. And then the 4th, it's kind of it'll be our lunch session, and it's the faculty and staff focus. So.
Well, we're hoping for the same results of the revival, the thing that took place back in the 90s, that will again be what is happening here at SAGU. So thank you, James, for being here. And we're excited. We're really looking forward to seeing this campaign grow.
Have you given any thought to finishing your college degree? Well, did you know every day others like you are discovering the satisfaction of completing their degree online? And they're doing it through SAGU Distance Education. We offer more than 50 accredited programs, most available entirely online. Our average annual cost is half of the national average for other private schools, and we can help you with the financial details through a number of grants, scholarships, and federal loan programs. SAGU School of Distance Education. Education anywhere.
Once again, SAGU takes another step toward furthering our academic programs. SAGU is grateful and honored to announce that the school received a $1 million donation from 1956 graduate Dr. Lyndall Bullock. He has dedicated his life to teaching students at various universities nationwide. His late wife, Eileen, who he met at SAGU, remains his inspiration behind giving back to the education community. This generous donation will go toward expanding the number of facilities at our beloved university. Education and business majors can expect upcoming construction of a new academic building. Dr. Bullock's donation highlights the university's motto of preparing spirit-filled educators to serve in numerous classrooms of our communities, which we will forever be honored here at SAGU. In this segment of On Safari, we will be showcasing a poem by junior Justin Ybarra. Justin is a digital media arts major who is actually working behind the cameras here on the Lions in the Field set.
His poem is called Unopened Letters, a piece about unrequited love and inevitable heartbreak. Here's this episode's video essay on Safari.
Hey, what are we? You mean the world to me, but I feel like I lost the key. To the lock I was trying to open, I know you have a spare. I was hoping that you would care. To let me have it, if not, I understand. I mean, it's whatever, move on to the next hand. Nothing will be the same, something different. I'm tired of playing this game, feel like I'm paying rent. For something that shouldn't be paid for, just loving another slam door. One that cannot be opened again. I'll stick my foot in every time. I thought I could win, feel like I'm committing a crime. Sentence for life, never coming back. On the edge of the knife, the final crack. I walked away, took my foot out the door. Now I just sway, unconscious, on the floor.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Lions in the Field. We'll see you again next month for more content produced by Lions for Lions.
On behalf of our team of student producers from the Digital Media Arts program and our executive producer, Rick Bowles, thanks again for watching. And remember, for every SAGU Lion in the Field, your story starts here.